What is up, guys? This is Velocity Worm and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I'm in a new car. Let's get on the road and we will talk a little bit. Put on my sunglasses because it's 27 degrees outside. Let me just turn on this little piece of shit. Like that. So guys, today is the 25th of June 2019. The last vlog was a while back ago. I mean last week. In that vlog I told you guys that I'm going to the mountains in the weekend, and I have been to the mountains. But on the day I recorded that vlog, I left the camera in the Mazda in my mother's car, and I wasn't able to retrieve it up until this last weekend. So that's why, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I haven't recorded anything last week. But as you can tell, I didn't die on the mountains. It was a nice trip, it was a fun trip, it was a spectacular trip. I really like going to the mountains. It's always a nice scenery. Doesn't really matter actually in which mountains are you going. Let me just overtake this lady. Okay, it wasn't the perfect weekend because as we were going towards the mountains, as we were traveling with the car, one of my friends got a phone call and found out that his grandpa died. So that that really changed the mood of the group. But my friend, well, he's a tough guy. He tried to keep his morale up, and you know, he tried to make it so that our weekend is not completely thrown out of the window. But we had to make some changes to our program. We wanted to go up to the peak, onto the peak of the mountain on Sunday, and come back to the house where we were going to sleep, and then on Monday we would come back home. But on Monday he had to go to the funeral, so we had to turn back home on Sunday. So we had two options. We either went up onto the peak on Sunday and then came all the way down to the car, which would mean a 14-hour trip on foot for us, or we could choose not to go up to the peak. Let me just check if this camera is recording. Yes, it is. Sorry bro, can't take up anyone in the car because I'm doing a vlog. So we could do a shorter route and then come back home. Sorry about that. So we chose the longer route. We said that if we made this effort and came all the way onto the mountain, we should try and climb up to the peak, because it's the highest peak in my country, and you know, we had never done it before, so we really wanted to do it. So we started going up. It was a very tiring trip, I have to say. I was sick as well. My stamina was low. I didn't really have energy at all. After every few meters, I felt like I want to sit down and sleep. So it was quite a challenge, but it was worth it. It was really worth it. Even though we didn't, in the end, we didn't manage to go up onto the peak because the weather got bad. Half of our group ran out of water, and there was no way to get water up there. So we had to turn back. At the point where we turned back, we would have still had like an hour or so to climb up, and then an hour to come down back. That's I think the only disappointment I have with the trip, well, except for the funeral part, obviously, that we didn't manage to go up. But my friend whose grandpa died told me that he wants to go again this summer, and he wants to climb up to the peak. So I'm with him. There's a few more people who want to come, and we want to go up to the peak again. I mean, again, not again. We want to go up to the peak. This time, hopefully, we can do it successfully. And then, so we got to the car at around 11 p.m., something like that. So after a 14-hour trip, we got to the car. This friend of mine whose grandpa died, he was the driver. What are these guys doing, bro? So he was the driver. He drove us home, but as we got into the car, we instantly fell asleep. I mean, we were so tired. Our legs were hurting. You know, it was. I mean, the majority of the trip we had good weather, but it was a lot of sun as well, and the sun really took a toll on our mood. We were burned out. We didn't have energy to talk or to sing like we did when we were going toward the mountain. We got home at around 1 or 2 in the night, or in the morning, should I say. And in the morning, me and 2 friends of mine who were also with us on the mountain, we woke up and we went to the funeral to support and to be there with our friend. Yes, there were a few days. There were days with ups and downs. You know, the mountain was awesome, the group was awesome, but the funeral and the death of his grandpa, you know, that really it was ups and downs, mostly downs. If you consider that a death of a member of your family obviously is a bigger thing than a mountain. So yes. So after the funeral, I went to my friend with whom I went to the funeral as well, and we did some barbecues. We drank a few beers, and then we got home at night. And yes, I had work to do the next day, so that was it. So that was my trip to the mountains. I can't wait to go again. I really can't wait to go again. I really love going to the mountains. And maybe I should do vlogs from the mountains as well. I will think about that. Even though I don't want to interrupt, you know, our experience with my friends up there. You know, me talking in English, doing a vlog that nobody watches. I don't know. I'll think about it. And now I finished work. I mean, I still have a few things to do, but like 99% of my work is done. Let me overtake this car fast. And I'm going home. I should be going to pay some bills, but I don't know. I'm not really in the mood to pay bills. I just want to go home and sleep a little bit. Yeah, guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm in another car. My car, with which I'm working every day, is in the service. They have to change the oil and do the maintenance, the periodical maintenance. So I had to go with another car. This is one of my newer colleagues' car. It's a brand new car. It only has 6,700 kilometers. It's a 2019 Ford Transit Custom with a 2000 cubic centimeter engine and with not a lot of features, but a few more features than my car has. The radio is nice. The console of the radio, I don't really like I don't know if you can see the console of the air conditioning. I don't like it. This little thingy that you have to rotate to turn on the air conditioning is very sensitive or sensible, however you say it. Maybe it's just me. I have to get used to it. Maybe, I don't know. It's just, I don't like it. But other than that, the commands on the steering wheel are nice. I like it. You can control the volume with the little stick here on the steering wheel, so that's nice. And the dashboard is made differently than my car. Obviously, this is a newer model. It's younger with 1 year, by 1 year. It has I don't know if you can see, more places where you can put your stuff in the dashboard, so that's a nice feature, because in my car really are limited with the space. I just have like a space here in the middle where I can put stuff, but that's just one space. He has multiple. And then down here, I don't know if you can see it, probably you can because of the sun and all the stuff. It has a cup holder, so that's nice. You can open it up and close it back, so yes, that's very nice. Other than that, well, yes, it's a Ford. It's nothing shabby, nothing special. What I noticed actually is that the car doesn't make a lot of sound. The engine is very silenced. Maybe it's because it's brand new, I don't know, but it looks to me that it doesn't make as much sound as my car, so that's also a nice feature. But hopefully I will be driving this car only today. I don't want to drive it tomorrow as well, because then I will have to clean it because I will most probably leave some dirt and some garbage back after me. I mean, well, my English is broken and I'm tired and I want to sleep. So that's it. I talked about the mountain, I talked about the car, this new car. Look around it. What else did I want to say? What else did I want to talk to you about? Don't have a specific subject in my mind, so oh yes, in the morning I read a text. It's like I'm reading every single day a religious text a commentary based on a Bible verse. You know, it's helpful. It helps me through the day. Sometimes there are things that I really need that day, like, you know, show patience, show love, you know, stuff like that. Quick little reminders of how we should behave, stuff like that. And on today's text, there was an interesting thing. The verse said something like this. I don't quite remember how it was written. Oh, truck. Okay. Actually, I might just read it for you. Don't use your phone while you're driving. So yeah, the verse said, expectation postponed makes the heart sick. So expectation postponed makes the heart sick. And this verse is really a verse I like. I mean, what it tells me, I mean, beyond the obvious, or what I understand, how I interpret it in my life, is if I'm waiting for things for too long, or if I expect things to happen to me for too long and they don't happen, my mental health, my balance as a person, you know, with my sentiments, everything that I am as a person will be affected if I don't get it. And I don't mean this like in a matter, you know, like a little child who really badly wants a toy, and if he doesn't get the toy, he starts crying, he starts making, you know, he throws himself to the ground and rolls around on the ground. No, not like that, but in a way that this verse helps me contemplate more seriously on the possibility of moving on from an expectation. So, for example, if I have the expectation, I don't know, for a girl to fall in love with me, or I'm expecting to have a relationship with a specific girl that I like. Well, that's a nice thing, you know. That's a nice thing. You could say, and it is a nice thing. Let me just open the window a little bit because I don't really like the air conditioning. I prefer, you know, the real air. I prefer the real air, even if it's hot outside. But when I'm doing the vlog, the sound is distorted. So I have to turn on the air conditioning. So I have this expectation of a girl falling in love with me or being with a girl, you know, and that's a good thing to expect, because that's what human nature is. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to create families, to get married, to raise children, you know, to keep society working, to become better, you know, stuff like that. Wow, boys, you left your car in a very bad position. And I'm expecting for that. I'm waiting for that. I want that thing, and that's a good thing. I agree, it's a good thing, and most of us probably would agree that that is a good thing. But what happens when you know, a month or two, maybe a year passes by, maybe 2 years, maybe 5 years passes by, and you're still expecting that same thing? Nothing has changed. You know, you're still thinking of the same girl. You're still trying to get the same girl. She's not interested. Maybe she's with someone else. I don't know, different situations. But you're still expecting. You're still waiting for her or him. If you're a girl listening to this epic vlog of mine. Yep, nobody's listening. Nobody's watching. But it's better that way. At least I can talk shit and say bad stuff. I don't know, or inappropriate things or things that are crossing my mind, and nobody will get offended, nobody will be affected by it. So time passes by and you're still thinking of her. I'm gonna talk about girls because I'm a boy, and you know it's easier for me to talk like that. So you're still expecting to get to be with her, and you keep telling yourself that if you wait long enough, if you endure long enough, she will be yours. You think and you tell yourself that you just have to wait, and eventually she will be yours. But is that really the case? Like, think about it. If a month or two, maybe that's not enough. But if a year passes by, 2, 3, 4 years pass by, and nothing changes with the girl, with that specific girl, you don't get closer to her. She doesn't get closer to you. It doesn't look like anything will happen between you two, because there's no chance for it. It looks like there's no chance for it. Well then, are there really reasons to believe or to expect any further? Now, sorry about that. Now that's a hard pill to swallow, because at least in my experience, I can say that humans, well, most of us can't really accept defeat. You know, when we're defeated by this world, by the system, by a disease, by some family problems, or financially, or you know, we just get a blow when we're defeated in that part for a time. It's very hard for us to accept that thing. It's very hard to move on, because to move on you have to face the fact, you have to realize that you messed up, or even if you didn't mess up, you have to realize and to face the fact that something bad happened to you, and that's a hard thing to do, because nobody wants bad things to happen to them. And something like that is happening when you're expecting something. In my case, or not my case necessarily, but in some cases, when you're expecting to be with a girl, but it doesn't look like it will happen. You know, you keep telling yourself that something will change, maybe you will be with her, but the time passes by and there's no evidence that will ever happen. There's not even the slightest, the smallest evidence that will happen. But you keep on dreaming. Actually, yes, that's the word we should be using. You're dreaming. You keep dreaming about it. You keep dreaming that you will be with her. And yes, if time passes by, you should really stop, sit down, and think about it, and realize that what's really happening, it's not something, you know, courageous on your side. It's not something you do with full heart, and you know, you're the brave and the bold, you're the hero of the story because you're waiting for her, or because you expect to be with her. That's not the case. You're not a hero. You're a lonely piece of shit that sits around, waits for something to happen, waits to be with her, even though there's no chance to be with her. There's virtually maybe no chance to be with her. Maybe she's with another guy and you can't be with her. But you keep expecting, you keep telling yourself, well, you know what, you're not a hero. You know, you're not showing you're not showing a huge amount of love, or this is not an expression of your love waiting. No. What is it rather? It's failure. It's failure. Yes, failure. It's your failure of moving on. It's a sad thing that's happening. It's a very sad thing, because maybe you're looking at it from a perspective that, you know, puts you in a good light, because you're the one who will hold on to the love, and you will do everything that's necessary, but really you're not. You're just hurting yourself. You're just putting yourself on the right path to sadness and depression. And that's when this verse, I really think hits the point, because oh, sorry. my choke and die right now when I'm getting this enlightenment. I'll just turn down the air conditioning a little bit more because, man, I hate the air conditioning. I mean, I like it because, you know, it's cold and stuff, but so I think this verse really hits its mark in this situation, and well, I have to be honest, in my situation, because what the verse says it will happen, it really happens to me. Let me just read the verse again. Expectation postponed makes the heart sick. It makes the heart sick. And that does happen. It started happening to me. I've been expecting for so long. I've been waiting for so long. I've been dreaming. Yes, I've been dreaming of being with her for so long that and nothing happens. You know, it's not like if you wait like 50 years or 100 years or 1,000 years, then you will have her. No, you can wait however long you want. Nothing will change, and that is the sad truth. But it is a truth, and that's something I have to sit down and analyze and try to implement in my thinking, because I really started to get to the point where my heart is sick because of this expectation. And what I mean by that is that I feel that every girl that I meet is not good enough. I say boss. I really should have slowed it down before that corner, before that turn. So every girl I meet, I think of her, I think of them as a bad version of this ideal girl that I'm waiting for. You know, I keep telling myself that no girl is like her, no girl is so special, and I keep rejecting girls that might be good girls, you know, might have been good girls, but I rejected them. I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to get into a relationship with them. I didn't want to let myself heal. I didn't want to let myself experience another thing than this special girl that I'm talking about. And don't get me wrong, this girl did nothing wrong. I don't feel like she did anything wrong. It's just that, well, the time and circumstances didn't allow for things to go as I wanted them to go. So now I have to live with this truth. But the idea is, it doesn't matter how I got here. It doesn't matter how you get into a situation. Little fellas, little kids were carrying a watermelon. Little poor kids. Anyway, we're gonna talk about poor kids another time. So that's the point. It doesn't matter how you got into that point where you're expecting for something and it doesn't happen and it starts sickening your heart. It doesn't matter how you got there. What matters is how you move on and what you do to move on. What you do to start healing your heart and start looking forward to things that will actually happen, things that you actually have control upon, things that you can change. Because expecting for things that don't change, and expecting for things that will never change, and expecting for things that you have no power over, it's a foolish thing to do, and that is why it sickens your heart. That is why this verse from the Bible, I feel it's so powerful, and it's such a good verse for self-improvement and for self-guidance, should I say. It's a really good verse. I will go home, and before I go to bed, I will look over it again. I will try to meditate upon it. No, I really feel like the Bible is full of good verses, good ideas, good stuff. Because after all, at least that's my belief, is that the Bible is from God. It was written by people, yes, but it's from God, and since God created us, He knows better what's good and bad for us and how we should behave what we should do to be happy. So on future vlogs I might attack more subjects like this, subjects like this with the Bible. I don't know for how long was I recording. Let me check if I'm still recording. Whoa, mate. Yes, it's still recording. Hopefully the camera angle is good. I checked it like for 3 times and it wasn't good. And then I made the final adjustment and I didn't check it again, so I don't know. Might be a shitty angle, but what can you do? Not much. Not much. So guys, I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I think I showed you this part where I'm driving right now. I showed you this part before. So there's not much point in filming. Looks like rain is coming. Man, I can't wait to get home and sleep. And yes, I really have to think about this thing of moving on, this thing of expecting things that don't happen. And these expectations sicken your heart. That's a very deep thing, very deep idea. Whew. Okay, guys. I know this was probably a strange. Oh yes, a thing that annoys me at this car a lot. I don't know if you can hear it. Just listen. Do you hear how loud that sounds? When I'm making a turn, I have to signal the turn. It sounds so bloody loud. It's it's annoying, man. I'm telling you. It sounds so loud. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. Like I had to stop somewhere on the road and write something down, and I just pushed the emergency. I don't know how you call it in English. Is this button that? Yes, it's the train. It's the button you press, and on both sides the signals start, flashing. The turning signals. It's when you have an emergency and you have to stop the car. It makes it more visible. And I pressed the button, and I was there writing that information down that I needed to not forget. And this bloody sound, man, I'm telling you, it was driving me crazy. It was like someone would take a hammer and would just hit your head like tick 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 tick. It's so annoying. It's incredibly annoying. Thanks God I don't have to drive this car every day. Look, the train, brother. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, there's some nice graffiti on it. Some nice graffiti. I like trains as well. Not as much as my brother likes them, but I like them as well. And this summer I have to go with him on another train trip, just like we did before. Just me and him. I actually have to talk to him this weekend to settle a date, because otherwise we won't be doing it. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening for my listening to my problems and my solutions and everything that I said on this vlog. It was about cars, it was about train, about problems, heart problems, relationship problems, everything piled up in a big vlog. I think I don't know how long it was, but yes, hopefully I will see you again tomorrow from my car. But up until then, it's been your boy Velocity Worm. Take care and peace. Bye.